Om Sairam to all the Sai Bandhus. By the immense grace of Shri Sainath Maharaj, let us all now heed to the biography of great apostle of Shri Sai Baba, Pujyashri Narasimha Swamiji, narrated in the book As the Flower Sheds Its Fragrance by DR.G.R. Vijayakumar. Chapter 4, Comrades in Baba's Service, continued. Among the secretaries, Messrs. O.K. Varadarao, M.D. Krishnamurthy, and V.K. Pantulu, T. Keshavarao, S. Seshadri call for special mention. In the districts, Messrs. B.R. Ranganathan of Pune, T.G.K. Murthy of Srirangam, K. Sadagopan of Pondicherry, T.L.S. Mani Iyer of Kumbakonam, D. Raghunatha Rao of Omalur, and Dr. M.K. Rajagopalachari of Nellore, and others, too numerous to mention here, have derived inspiration and have carried out good work in their particular areas. Sri Radhakrishna Swamiji evolved himself to be the disciple and spiritual heir to Sri Narasimha Swamiji. He was deputed in 1952 to Bangalore to spread Sai Baba's message in Bangalore and Karnataka. Swami Keshavaya, who was a sub-registrar in Andhra Pradesh, distinguished himself for performing Sai worship with single-minded devotion. Bashir Baba of Kadapa in Andhra Pradesh took up Sai propagation inspired by Narasimha Swamiji. He attained several siddhis due to the benevolence of Sai Baba. He took the torch of the Sai movement to Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Japan, Egypt, Lagos, and other Middle East countries. He has organized the World Sai Prachar Sabha. Rao Sahib B. Papaya Chetty of Nellore was inspired by Narasimha Swamiji's book The Charters and Sayings. Sai Baba instructed him to denote a princely sum of rupees 11,455 to Narasimha Swamiji in 1940. This became the nucleus for starting the All India Sai Samaj at Madras. Sri D. Bhima Rao, who was the Postmaster General of Madras, succeeded Narasimha Swamiji as President of the All India Sai Samaj and held this position up to 1970. Sri A.V.K. Chari of Coimbatore was a political leader till he met Narasimha Swamiji in 1941. He assisted Swamiji actively and was responsible for laying a firm foundation for Sai mission in the Coimbatore area. Sri K. R. S. Iyer, a distant relative of Narasimha Swamiji in his Purvashram life, was influenced by him to take up Sai worship, and he was totally involved in Sai Samaj activities after his retirement from service. Arthur Osborne, a native of Australia, was influenced by Narasimha Swamiji to take up Sai worship. His book, The Incredible Sai Baba, has reached readers overseas. Narasimha Swamiji took Sai Baba out of Maharashtra and made him known all over India. Arthur Osborne took Sai Baba from Narasimha Swamiji's writings and placed him as a world figure. Sri J. N. Bose of Calcutta met Narasimha Swamiji in 1940 or so, and by the Udi given by him, his son recovered from an illness. He assisted Narasimha Swamiji in carrying out Sai propagation in Bengal and Assam. He has translated several books of Swamiji into Bengal. Srimati Manish Sahukar, a social worker in Mumbai, was influenced by Narasimha Swamiji to take up Sai Baba's worship in unusual circumstances in 1943. She has written a book, Sai Baba, the Saint of Shirdi, with a foreword from Narasimha Swamiji. This book is quite popular in our country as well as overseas. She has given lectures on Sai Baba at many forums in India and abroad and has contributed to Sai movement considerably. Shri A. Varadappa Chettiar, a social worker and presidency magistrate, was closely associated with Narasimha Swamiji for 20 years, assisting him in Sai Prachar. Shri J. De Pannalal, a presidency magistrate, actively assisted Narasimha Swamiji in the building projects of the All India Sai Samaj. He was treasurer of the All India Sai Samaj for a long time. Chapter 5, Concept of Surrender by Shri Narasimha Swamiji. Sai Baba has granted the prayer of my life for an increased and still increasing measure of self-surrender by promoting in me Ananya Chinta, that is, intense and unceasing concentration on Him, total and exclusive concentration on Sai Baba, such as they might be after my passing into Vanaprastha Ashrama, thus ensuring me deep mental peace. In November 1937, I was at Tiruvannamalai and was intending to start for Madras by train. A friend, Sri Tulasidas P. Sahani, offered to take me to Madras in his car, wherein he, Srimati Uma, and I could sing bhajan songs or namavalis all along the 140 miles of the journey. It was raining and I consulted Sai Baba by prayerfully casting a chit at random. Sai Baba's direction was that I should go by train. I went to my friend and apologized for my not being able to join the bhajan party, but he pleaded with me to change my mind. I returned to my quarters and pleaded with Sai Baba. The rule with Sai Baba was and is that once a decision is given, a second consultation on the same matter should not be sought because Sai Ramo Dvirnabi Vashate. Sai Baba does not revise or reverse his decision. I, however, pleaded with Sai Baba that he should permit me to transgress his orders for that once, as the object of the transgression was pious. And I also prayed that for the same reason the penalty that was bound to follow the transgression be lenient. Then I started with the two pious friends in Sri Tulasidas' car. It was raining on and off the entire day and all along the way. But we were cheerful, singing bhajans and namavalis, and the journey started very pleasantly. As a result of the inclement weather, the car was proceeding slowly. After the 5th mile, suddenly we heard the sound of something snapping and the car shuddered to a halt. Sri Tulasidas alighted and found that the rear axle had broken. Thus, the journey came to an abrupt end. It was still raining. There was no kind of shelter nearby at the place where the car had broken down. And, of course, getting the car repaired was out of question. It was then that I revealed to my friends that I had joined them in their journey by car against the express direction of Sai Baba. I at once submitted myself at Sai Baba, thanked him for the lightness of the penalty and prayed for direction whether I should at that stage try to go by train or should continue the journey by car. This was all very good to make such a request, but how was I to get a car which would take me to Madras? Sri Tulasidas' car would take at least one full day to be repaired and made fit for journey, But in the meanwhile, what were we to do in the pouring rain on the desolate road? After I waited for about an hour along with my companions, knowing neither what to do nor what would happen to us, a car coming from Tiruvannamalai drew up alongside. Shri P. Krishnamachari, salesman of Wolcott Brothers, Madras, was at the wheel and the sole occupant of the car. He offered to take me and Srimati Uma in his car. As soon as we got in, Sri Krishnamachari remarked that events since that morning had been puzzling him. Earlier in the day, he had written home to Madras that they need to expect him at Madras for another 4 days, as he had decided to extend his stay at Tiruvannamalai. But at about 11 a.m., something made him suddenly change his mind and he wished to start to Madras. He could not discern any clear reason for this change of mind. He went to Sri Ramana Maharishi, at whose ashram he had been staying, and asked for permission to leave. The permission was readily granted and he at once started off to Madras and unexpectedly caught up with us, stranded on the road. Sri Krishnamachari said that this sudden change of decision and the urgency he felt to get back to Madras ceased to be a riddle when he saw our helpless condition and us. It was because we were stranded helplessly that God must have made him change his mind so that he could come to our rescue, he concluded. I confirmed his belief. I said, it was God Sainath who had instructed on my behalf. It was he who had asked me to go to Madras by car at 11 a.m. It was only he who could find a car to take my companion and me to Madras, and he did it because he alone could and did change Krishnamachari's mind to serve a higher and benignant purpose. Shubhra Marga. My first meeting with Shri Narasimha Swamiji at Ooty by Shri Radhakrishna Swamiji. I could not resist the urge to place on record Shri Narasimha Swamiji's words to me at the very first meeting I had with him. The hope that Narasimha Swamiji's words will provide guidance to Sai Bhaktas and seekers of truth have helped me to overcome the great diffidence I felt in making public this intensely personal experience. Narasimha Swamiji's advice only shows how Sai Baba's loving kindness was showered on me through his great apostle, Revered Narasimha Swamiji. After this, there have been many such experiences which have helped me in my evolution in the spiritual path. Sai Baba has paved the way for me for a worthy living to realize truth. Sai Baba is all in one to me, mother, father, relative, friend, knowledge, wealth, and all. What more can I say? He gave us plenty of opportunities to realize samatva, enough power to bear sukha and dukkha, pleasure and pain, and so on, equally without hurting myself. Enough patience he has showered on this path of spirituality. Sri Narasimha Swamiji had said, the supreme light divine shines in every heart. Thus, everyone is immortal. You need not search for it. Simply ask for it and it shall be given to you. Number 1. Remember, Baba has form and he is formless too. Do not begin to analyze the quality of the metal, but drink the milk from the container. Number 2. Stick to the spirit. Sainath leads you into the kingdom of spirit. He has vouchsafed to those who approach him the white path, the Shubhra Marga. Do not doubt it. He will pour the essence in you after removing the age-long dirt in you. Remember, number 3, his words, uge muge, sit quiet, have patience, and at the end you will have the reward. Concentrate on his feet first and then go on upwards. You will get the grace in full with all Ananda. Number 4. There is no difference between Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara and Sai Baba. The three combined in one you will be able to find in Sai Baba. 2. The pure, unadulterated, omnipotent soul. He lavishes his grace freely upon all devotees that take shelter at his feet. Number 5. Sincerely approach him straight. Breathe your full life in him and your eternal rest. Are you prepared? If so, start from this very moment itself. Number 6. Go and enter straight into your heart and live with him. He is your mother. He knows your hunger and will feed you at all times. Number 7. Take the banner of Sai Baba's love and compassion and propagate for the rest of your life. This is your Guru Seva. Mere learning and living with all comforts in life is not worth anything at all. May Sai Baba's grace be with you forever. Be happy and live with courage. Sai Baba will take care of you. Don't fear. Walk on the spiritual path courageously and I am with you. Number 8. Remember my case, how I have been divested of all my belongings before he took possession of me. Dear Sai Bandhus, we shall now close this episode of the biography of Pujyashri Narasimha Swamiji and the rest will be continued in the next chapter. Bow to Shri Sai. Peace be to all. Aum Sairam.